All right, welcome, ladies and gentlemen, once again here to Virtual Racing Network. Tonight, as you can see on the track there, we have some trucks racing tonight here. This is the RACECORE Online Racing League. This is the Truck Series presented by Leo's Coney Island out of Rochester Hills. Of course, we'll get to all that here in just a moment as we are going to go through all of the sponsors for tonight's race and here presenting this broadcast to you. Of course, starting first with Walls Beard Co. If you are a gentleman out there and you have a beard, you need to take care of it. So what better way than with some all natural and organic products over at wallsbeardco.com. You can get just that. They have some great beard balm over there, different scents, so not only will your beard look good, it will smell good all day long. So make sure you check them out at wallsbeardco.com. simspeedshop.com. If you are an iRacer, you need a button box that is custom made for you, and of course a e-brake if you're a rallycross racer. You can find both of those items over at simspeedshop.com, so make sure you head on over to check them out for those great products. Northwest Racing Series, they have been here for quite some time now, and they are the official one-to-go sponsor. So every time you see that white flag waving in the air, it will be presented by Northwest Racing Series. Again, if you're looking to get into that series, you've got to be in the Northwest Club here on iRacing. On Monday nights, they run their fixed Xfinity series, and on Thursday nights, coming up this Thursday night, we'll be running as well. That is their open set truck series. So 2 series that you can run, 2 great series. So make sure you look them up, Northwest Racing Series on iRacing. However, if the Xfinity and truck racing is not your thing, you can look up Ohio IndyCar League. Head on over to facebook.com/Ohio IndyCar League for all the details on that league. They are no longer just taking Ohio club members, so they are opening the floodgates to anyone here on iRacing. So make sure you check them out. They are broadcasted on one of our sister channels over on MaxSpeed TV. And of course, iRacing, or Broadcast Overlay Graphics, or iBog for short. You can head on over to ibog.co and contact Jason Allison if you're needing some overlays done for your stream here. If you're just a streamer that wants some overlays for iRacing, or if you're looking to get into broadcasting, you can look him up. Again, that's ibog.co. Contact Jason Allison. And for the sponsors here for the race, there are 3 main sponsors that get all of this going. Of course, Global Building Contractors, a general sponsor here tonight. They are the presenting sponsor of the Xfinity Series, but just a general sponsor here tonight. iRacing Drivers World. Again, if you need to post anything about iRacing, whether it be photos, videos, news, whatever, questions, comments, you can post them over there on iRacing Drivers World. Over 7,700 members and growing daily, so head on over there and join that page. And of course, the presenting sponsor here for tonight's race and series, that is Leo's Coney Island out of Rochester Hills. Make sure if you are in the Rochester Hills area that you head over to Leo's Coney Island, not just to thank them for what they do sponsoring this series, but picking up some good food while you're there. Again, an extensive menu of great food. Just make sure you let them know you heard about it here on VRN in the RACECORE race, and pick you up some great food while you are at it. That being said, we have a special guest here in the booth. His first time in the booth with us here tonight, and that is Randy Post. So Randy, welcome to the booth for the first time, and first off, how are you doing here tonight?
I'm good, Charles, and thank you for the opportunity to have me in here tonight. I really appreciate that.
Well, it's being your first time here with this this particular series. It is a doozy of a night to get here as we see some tracks going through the grass there. A little new feature they have. You will see some dirt flying here on the broadcast tonight, as if they go through that grass. This could be interesting. You know, they haven't been to this track before here at Kansas, so I'm going to be real curious to see how many cautions we have, if we have a whole lot of cautions. I know we're looking at about 3 to 4 pit stops is roughly about what we're expecting. So 100 laps here, 150 miles as we pull up the pre-race analytics here. So 4 stops, but I figure we're going to want tires a little bit before that. I'm not sure exactly what the tire wear is going to be, but definitely I think tires are going to be wanted well before the fuel window.
For sure. I noticed with the new grass and everything, I experienced that myself, and it was a blast. It was really cool. Lots of different things coming today with the new update, and tires here are huge. Tires are huge here with the high bank corners. You can really see a fall off in about 20 laps. You'll definitely notice that you're sliding up a little bit.
Yeah, you definitely can, and we've seen them here. There's not many people out on the track right now. Again, they are in a driver's meeting at the moment here. Brett Meservey sitting out on the track. He's the only one out on the track right now. But again, this is a very interesting track here at Kansas. Like you said, the high banks here, 1.5 mile track, and getting on pit road is probably one of the easiest tracks in my opinion. It's not too hard to get onto. However, getting off pit road, we want to talk about that for just a minute here. As that was part of this update we had today, there's actually a blue line. We can't see it. However, there is a blue cone that we can see on the backstretch there, and they are enforcing that more here on iRacing. Not the league itself, but iRacing is. And if you actually go up onto the track before you get past that cone, you will get a stop-and-go penalty. So we may see one or several drivers getting penalties here tonight for that.
Yeah, for sure, and that's a new thing that people were experiencing in practice. Even a lot of people didn't know if they were going to get a black flag if they went up before the blue line, and I guess they're really cracking down on coming up onto the track right out of the pits.
They are indeed. These guys are used to coming up kind of whenever they want here, but the leagues don't like it. It's a hazard out there, and now iRacing has acknowledged that, and they are going to start cracking down on it for you. So, again, a good addition there, you can say, to the sim, as they're always adding new things here, amongst other things, most of which don't concern with us. They did fix, I guess you could say, fixed the camber with the trucks themselves. However, that's not going to play a factor in tonight's race, I don't think, because this is a fixed setup league, so they're running the iRacing default setup, so that isn't going to affect this league or this series and this league too much here. But that being said, we do want to pull your point standings up there, as we just sent those over to you as well. Jameer Muhammad, you don't know, you haven't been here with us, but he is one you have to watch here. He is your points leader right now over David Gainforth, who is 35 points behind him. Mikey Neal, 37. And while he has a pretty sizable lead, if you go through these point standings, you can see there, Brian Dorsey, Justin Starr, only 1 point separating them. Throughout these points, there's a lot of battles going on.
Right, and looking at the points here, yeah, the top 6 are within 10 points of each other, and with that being said, if you got a leader that's got an incredible race or lead in front of everybody, if he wrecks out and has a little bit of an issue or issues with the truck during the race, that opens things up for the rest of the season for everybody else, because they're so close. It can turn into a disaster real quick.
It very well could. And again, we don't know how this car is going to handle here with this new setup. From practice that we were watching, it looks like they were pretty good at handling it here. It didn't look like it was too much change here. I don't think it's going to be, like a complete curveball for these guys. But anything could happen. I expect Bryson Barker to have a good run here. He's 6th fastest right now. He's 12th in points, 87 points out. I do expect to see him move up into point standings. Alex Huffman, who was away, got a new wheel, so he dropped to 10th. He was a little higher. But because that's just because he didn't have a wheel, it was broke. So I expect to see him move up. Austin Edstrom, another one that won in the Xfinity Series Sunday night. So he's someone you got to watch for. I really expect him to to definitely move forward. And he was talking about the other day that Jamir Muhammad had found something that these other guys hadn't found. We'll be looking to see if maybe what he found went out the window here with this new build, or if he still got what he had, as Jamir Muhammad has been so fast lately, but Austin Edstrom is faster than him here in practice, but only by .002.
Right, and this track has a lot of different lines you can run. There, you can run the low line and be faster, but you're going to eat your tires away a lot quicker. And the top line is also a really fast line, and you can use that to save your tires and get a run on people who have to pit earlier than you.
Yeah, you really can. Again, we're just going to be watching. We talk about it every week how racing is a full contact sport. You will see some bumping here. You'll probably see some people into the wall, and you're also going to see some strategy calls. I'm sure of it here. You'll have somebody, decide to come in early maybe to try to take an advantage, expecting a caution to come out. We've seen it in other races. We saw it Sunday night with Austin Edstrom. He wasn't sure he was going to get the win. It was definitely a gutsy call to stay out and do what he did. But it worked out for him in the end. Again, strategy is going to be a big key, and it always is, no matter where we're at here on iRacing or in real life, for that matter. So we'll definitely see. I think these guys could probably stretch it out to 3 pit stops. We'll see. Maybe some people are going to go with the 3 pit stop strategy. But we definitely know that there'll be people on a 4 pit strategy.
Right, and if you get a couple cautions, you could be thinking 3 pit stops, 4 pit stops. It could still be a huge factor in what your strategy is. And come the end of the race, that's a real gamble. I mean, if you're 15 to go and you're really needing tires, either you're really looking for a caution, or you're just gonna have to pit and to make it to the race without wrecking.
Yeah, we are, and we'll keep an eye throughout this race here. 2 things. One, we'll keep an eye. They're running about 31.2s here in practice. We'll see. They may run a little bit slower than that during the race itself. Those times may be mostly qualifying times that they're trying to put as fast as they can, and they'll probably be a little bit slower during the race. But we'll keep track of how the tire progresses from lap 1 to lap 5, 10, 15, assuming we get a long green flag run. And also you'll be able to keep an eye. I can't do it obviously here. We're going to try working on a overlay for it here, but keeping an eye on the weather here for the track temp. In this last update today, we did get the option to be able to see the track temp here. At last check, I believe it was 79 degrees. Actually dropped a degree from 80 as less cars were on it, and I would imagine it's probably down to 78 or less right now. But once we get these cars out there for 20 laps under green flag condition, we'll check in with that and throughout the race and see how that track temp is going up with these guys laying down some heat onto the track.
Right, and that can be another big factor as it sits right now. As you said, it sits at 78 degrees. And if you're putting a lot of heat on that track with the rubber of the tires, that could change the way that the tires get eaten up. It changes the grip on the track. It just changes so many different aspects that you're going to have to adjust to while driving on this track tonight.
Yeah, it is, and it's 100 laps here, so it's a lot of laps. Again, we expect them to break it up into quarters here for the... as far as gas goes, tires, we'll wait to see on that one how that one's going to go. We're not sure here. So while we have a moment here, a break, we got about 5.5 minutes left. We do want to give a shout out to everyone in chat here tonight. Thanks for tuning in, watching the broadcast here tonight. As always, if you are new, we ask you, if you want, to please hit that subscribe button and make sure you hit the little bell as well to be notified of all the upcoming races. We have some great races coming up this week, so definitely make sure you stay tuned for that. And as well, hit that thumbs up if you like the race here tonight. Again, a little premature if you like the race, but if you like this league, you like the broadcast as a whole, you can go ahead and give it a thumbs up. It's a big way to let us know, let the other fans know, these drivers, and of course all the sponsors, that you enjoy watching this broadcast. you enjoy being here, and we definitely appreciate you being here, because if it wasn't for the fans and the drivers that go back and watch, obviously we wouldn't have a reason to be here. But that being said, we have about 4.5 minutes coming up, so we're going to step away here for one moment and go to a quick commercial break, and we will be right back here, and they should be done with that drivers meeting, and we'll see if we can't pull a driver up here and get a quick pre-race interview with them. Alright, we are back here, ladies and gentlemen, and again, we have about a minute 45 here. We're not going to get a chance to get one of those in. They're all back out on the track now, but we do want to pick our winners here for tonight. We always do it. It's kind of a tradition that we do here on VRN. So being that you are the guest here tonight, Randy, we'll let you get your pick first in, so you have a pick of the field here tonight.
Alright, Charles, so I'm going to go with the 88 of Austin Edstrom. I watched him race a little bit. He's got the fastest lap in practice, and he just looks really solid tonight, and I really think he can pull off a win tonight.
Well, definitely, he is a solid pick here. You know, I try to change mine up as much as I can. I think I'm going to do that here tonight. Based off of two things, and only two things here tonight. One, I'm going with the 101 of David Gainforth. He is sitting second in points right now, so I definitely want to see him do a good finish. And that, he's changed up his paint job, and he's actually running a Mr. Bubble paint job, which I just think is awesome. He's running that, so that is why I am going with him here tonight, just for those two reasons. But again, anybody's chance here to win is now. Mikey Neal just ran the fastest lap with the 2:30.024 faster. But that being said, again, we are going to step away for the national anthem. So as always, we'll be right back here in just a few moments, right after the national anthem with qualifying.
We take you down onto the track for our opening ceremonies.
Ladies and gentlemen, please rise. Please remove your hats.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets' red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave.
All right, we are back here, ladies and gentlemen, and we are diving right into the mix of things as we're going to jump down to the track, and we will pull up your driver bar here as we're going to start off here with the 48 of Jack Fellers. He is out on the track, and nobody's put in a time just yet, so we didn't miss anything there while we were away for the national anthem, but times will start to roll in here shortly, and we'll see who's going to qualify. There are a few here that won't qualify, as you probably didn't know that, Randy, but there will be some that choose to start in the back here.
Right, and that can always be a big part of strategy. I know in some races I like to start in the back if I'm not comfortable with the track or just not comfortable with the way the truck feels. It can always give you a little bit of an edge.
It can definitely here, or in any league, give you an edge, but time should be going there. Jack Fellers is going to run a 31.871, but John Van Varillis running a 31.582 in that 87 Goodyear machine. And we'll see Jared Hagedorn is going to take second from Jack Fellers with a 31.669.
Lots of times being posted here, and they're kind of all over the place. People are getting their warm-up laps going, and it's looking pretty good. Could have a good, close starting field.
They are indeed. And we'll see Jeremy Evans. I believe he is brand new to the series here. I have not seen him before. He just put in an 8 fastest time with a 31.672. As right as I say that, Bryson Parker in the 84 takes it to the top of the charts with a 31.281. Again, he is somebody we'll have to watch here tonight, well as Alex Huffman and Austin Edstrom, who both take second and third right now.
Right, and they were talking, I was listening into the drivers' talk earlier, and they were saying that Jeremy was brand new to the league tonight, and he was thanking them for the chance to run with them.
Definitely brand new, and got his driver headshot in the overlays here, so a good job for him to do that. Brett Meservey taking 4th place right now with a 31.349. He's going to drop to 5th, as Jameer Muhammad's going to take it to the top of the charts with a 31.266. Those top 3 right now, Jameer Muhammad, Bryson Parker, and Alex Huffman, they are not separated by very much at all.
No, and even being in the same tent, there's still a lot of time in between the top 10. I mean, you got the 31.265 and a 31.496. So there's definitely a lot of different driving lanes here that could be a possibility.
There is indeed, as Justin Starr is going to take it to 8th place to get a top 10 starting position so far. That is a 31.438 for his time here. Jim Locking ran a 31.519. Roger Muth running a very fast time, 31.610. Back in 17th place, but still not a bad time, still in the 31s. As it looks like everybody that has qualified is running in the 31, so you know, in the grand scheme of things, we look here, the gap only .482 separates first from 18th right now here in qualifying. You know, that is not a lot of time.
No, it really isn't. A half a second is not a lot of time, but in racing it can be huge. I mean, a half a second, you're looking for tenths any way you can.
Yeah, it will allow these guys to pull away and get separated, but what it really amounts to is if there's a wreck or something, you know, at full speed, you know, 4 tenths being pulled away, that's quite a bit. A wreck, 4 tenths is not that much for you to catch them and pass them, so it's not as far of a gap, but again, that's 4 tenths per lap. It will just get bigger and bigger, and eventually they would potentially go a lap down. As it looks like didn't even know he was in this series. Brandon Kaufman in here is going to be racing and got a brand new driver because he was not on the roster that I remember seeing.
Yeah, it looks like we've got a couple people that didn't qualify. 5 of them, and we'll see what they can do. And I did notice when driving this track that the draft can also become a huge part in racing close to each other, especially on the backstretch. You get a long backstretch back there, and you could definitely get hooked up with somebody to gain ground on the people in front of you.
You really could. And that is going to do it here for qualifying. I thought they gave Brandon Kaufman the boot there for a minute. But it looks like qualifying ended is why he didn't get to complete. His time was running out. So that being said, it is time for your Walls Beard Co. starting grid. So since you are new here, you want to do the honors and go through our first 5 rows here for us, and then I will finish this off here for the night.
All right, I can do that. So in first place with a 31.265, we've got Jameer Muhammad in the 14 machine. Second place, we have Brian Barker in the 84 with a 31.281. Third place goes to Alex Huffman in the 83 with a 31.299. Fourth place goes to Austin Edstrom in the 88 with a 31.325. And the fifth place position goes to the 7 of Brett Merzervy and with a 31.339.
All right, and on his outside is going to be the 8 of Mikey Neal to round out row 3 here. In row 4 is going to be the 48 of Jack Fellers and the 99 of Justin Starr. Someone we'll keep an eye on here tonight. Row 5 is going to be Jeremy Evans. Again, we don't have his number right offhand as it is white there. It's the 4, I do believe, and the 47 of Trevor Graffel. Row 5 is going to be the 101 of David Gainforth and the 91 of Jim Lockie. Row 7 is going to be the 87 of John Van Varelis and the 39 of Roger Muth. Row 8 is going to be the 2 of Jared Hagedorn and the 21 of Dan Butler. Row 9 is going to be Brian Dorsey in the number 9 and the 13 of James Lorello. Row 10 is going to be the 151 of Brandon Kaufman and the 30 of Mike Rigney. Row 11 is going to be Donnie Gatton, who is starting here in the 11 of Dennis Ellis. Starting all by himself back in row 12 is the 96 of Craig Covington, and that will do it here for your Walls Beard Co. starting getting grid, and the green flag is out, and we are racing here for the first time 100 laps on the books, and Jameer Muhammad is out front, and I don't think he has any plans of looking back. He never does, so we'll see if he can do it. But Alex Huffman has got his hands full right now with Bryson Barker and Austin Edstrom.
Yeah, it looks like you've got a couple guys on the inside looking to make a move to get around the 84 here, and that could be very well possible, especially without fresh tires. They can run that low line versus that high line and be a little bit faster.
Yeah, they're going to be fighting here, I think. Again, we'll keep track here of their times. That last one was a 33-second lap, but that was under caution as well, so we'll keep an eye on that. And interesting here, those are teammates right there, the Austin Edstrom and Alex Huffman, and they're both running different versions of Hooters paint jobs here, so awesome-looking paint jobs there. And now it's easier to tell they are teammates since they are running the same one. Bryson Barker, though, he wants to bring that number 84 Mountain Dew Chevrolet right in the square mix of these guys. He's going to try to break up that little team tango, whatever you want to call it up there. These guys running together. He'd love to get in there and mix that up, and so would Mikey Neal. And someone we talk about a little bit, but we don't always talk about here, that's the 7 of Brett Meservy, as he is running right now in 6th position in that number 7 machine.
Right, and it looks like everybody's getting to be about single file. You got a couple people looking on the inside to see if they can make a move, but for the majority, everybody's running single file. I think they're just trying to get a feel for the track, feel how it's going to be for the rest of the night, and what they're going to do for strategy-wise.
They are indeed, and we got a battle going on here for the lead. Just saw it out of the corner of my eye. It's kind of faded off just a little bit. Alex Huffman, you know, again, we talked about him. He was away for a while with a broken wheel. He's back here, and back with vengeance, you know. I will say he's not my favorite driver, not Alex, but the one I'm going to compare him to, and that is Kyle Busch. You know, he's not my favorite driver, but you got to respect him as a driver. And right now, Alex Huffman is kind of doing like Kyle Busch did after he was gone for a while. He's coming back with vengeance, and he's right up there on the back bumper of Jamir Muhammad, who is usually pulling away from this field very quickly. But Alex Huffman is not letting him do that, as both of them have got about 2 car lengths over Austin Edstrom. And it may close even further here, as it's only 0.216 seconds separating them two.
Right, and what a better time than now to come back and say, hey, I'm back, I want to be up front. And he's knocking on the door to be up front right now, that's for sure.
He is indeed. And we'll keep an eye on those two, and we'll keep an eye. We're on lap 6 right now. We're going to go back here to around 10th place or so. He's got another battle brewing here. That is the rookie here, Jeremy Evans, Trevor Graffam, and David Gainforth. Putting together a good battle, and you can even count Roger Muth and James Lorello into this as well, as it's kind of a 5-car group here. They got 2 in front, 1 in the middle, and 2 in the back, so they're kind of running in a little pattern here. But again, this is kind of its own little group off of those top 9 that has kind of gotten separated per se, but they're still putting on a good battle here. So it looks like the 13 of James Lorello is trying to make it 3 wide here for just a split second. He may do it.
Right, and they could have a possibility of going 4 wide. This track is wide enough to do it, especially on the straights and in the corners. You can do it, but it'll be tight.
It will be tight indeed, but again, you can do it, so we'll be waiting to see if they do it here tonight. It'll be a good question here, but they're definitely doing 2 wide, and they're staying that way, as again, most of them are kind of biding their time a little bit. It's early in the race. We're only on lap 8 of 100, so we have plenty of time, but these guys are not. They're 3 wide here, crossing the line, and it is going to be, it looks like the 101, followed by the 47 and the 39 is how they were going to cross the line that lap. But these guys, you know, the lead is good, but these guys right here, these guys are really starting to mix it up still, even though they're not running for the lead right now. It's just amazing how they're running 3 and 4 wide, and they're going to do it again here. So it looks like the 13 of James Morello is going to try to get by the 39 of Roger Muth.
Right, and it's early in the race. You got to play it safe, but at the same time, you try to want to make as much track position as you can, so you have a good position. If a caution comes out, you can get to your pit stall earlier, and you just set up better for when the following situations.
Yeah, and that is the key here, as we just saw there at the corner, that blue cone there, that is the cone that we were talking about earlier, as we're going back up here to the front for a minute. It looks like Alex Huffman is maybe falling off a little bit, or either Jamir Muhammad is good in the long run, and we've known from the past that he is pretty good on the long run, and here we are 11 laps in, and I'm wondering if that is the case indeed, that he is just starting to not fall off as much, as now it looks like Austin Edstrom, the teammate of Alex Huffman, is trying to make something happen and maybe get by him for second. And we'll see if those two can get up there and battle with Jamir. Again, if we could see Austin Edstrom and Jamir Muhammad race side by side, we've seen it over and over again. That is just kind of an iconic battle here in this series.
Right, and it looks like he's lost a little bit of time off of the leader since we last talked about it, as he's sitting 3/10 behind him right now. So I don't know if that's just him letting off to try and save tires, or if it's just that Jamir's pulling ahead.
He is indeed. And we have a moment here. There's not a whole lot of racing going on as far as passing go. We started this race at the track of 78 degrees. It's only 13 laps in, but if you want to check in with that, we'll see if this track has gained any temperature in it.
Right, the track has gained 80, or not 80. It's gained 2 degrees. It's at 80 degrees right now with 13 laps in. So we could see it rise, especially if this goes green for a long time.
Yeah, I expect it to go up a little bit more if we continue green. And so far, you know, we're looking at their times here. Their original times, we'll look at Jamir Muhammad. His fastest time, 31.464 here in the race. He's running 31.9, so roughly about 0.5 off. That is a little bit of fall off, but compared to Michigan, where we were on the Monday or the Sunday race and the Monday race, where 15 laps in they were having nearly a 1.5 seconds fall off. These are not falling off near as bad, so they definitely have a little less tire wear, and I think that's going to help here. But those races went nearly caution free, but the part of that I think was because of the track. So we'll see if we go caution free here tonight. Right now we have 86 laps to go. So we're on lap 15, and keep in mind, if they do 4 stops here around 24 to 25, we should see some people start coming in for pit stops.
Right, within the next 10 laps, you should definitely see people starting to come in. And a good thing about coming from Michigan to a track like this is you have the knowledge of, okay, well, last week at Michigan, the tires fell off real bad, and here they're not falling off as bad. We can drive a little bit more aggressive and not worry about shredding the tires off the truck as easy.
Yeah, you definitely don't have to worry about shredding them. As I thought there for a minute we were watching the 88 of Austin Edstrom. He had a run. He had a huge run on his teammate, the 83 of Alex Huffman, but just couldn't make it stick. So he is going to have to regroup and try it again. Meanwhile, 1.2 seconds right now is the gap between second and third. Jamir Muhammad has just taken off in these last laps. And you're looking at their times here for those last laps. 31.2 for Jamir Muhammad, 32.3 for Alex Huffman, 32.6 for Austin Edstrom. But someone else that's running a 32.3, that's Bryson Barker. He's right there behind these guys. So it looks like for the most part, Jamir Muhammad is once again being able to conserve those tires and be fast all at the same time somehow.
Right, and looking at the gaps between each driver, it looked obviously Jamir Muhammad has pulled ahead with a sizable lead with 1.26 seconds, but the next 2 cars are really the only ones that are within a strikeable distance right now, as Bryson Barker is 1.7 seconds back, and the next car behind him is 3.5 seconds behind the leader. So there's a lot of time in between these cars, and you're starting to see them spread out a lot, and that could be due to tire fall off and just strategy. There's a lot of different reasons that people are starting to spread out.
Yeah, and you go further back here, they're starting to run 33.0s, and that's a good indication that they are having more tire fall off. But the 8 car right now, that is Mikey Neal. We haven't talked about him yet. Until now, it looks like he is going to go and pass, but we have a ton of cars coming in on lap 19. This is going to be interesting. They may try to make this a 5-stop race. Obviously, if they come in around 20, I don't think they're going to make it to the end of the race on a 4-stop strategy. As Austin Edstrom is in, Jamir Muhammad is coming in. I do believe he's blinking a little bit, but he is on pit road, and there is a bunch of people. Mikey Neal, Brett Meservey coming in, Justin Starr in, Roger Muth, Trevor Graffam, Mike Rigney, John Van Varellis has come down. So a ton of people coming in. It looks like Alex Huffman is going to come in as well. And that's interesting that the teammates didn't pit on the same lap.
Right, a couple of them might have been driving a little bit deeper and had a little bit more tire wear, and some of them just felt like they could hang on to it for a couple more laps to give themselves an edge when they do pit, so they could keep their position. They don't lose a bunch of positions on pit road if something were to happen.
Indeed, and that's going to give the lead here to the 84 of Bryson Barker. Again, we predicted they could make it to at least lap 25, maybe 26, but I'm thinking it's around 24 to 25 is when these guys were going to come down. But right now, these guys are proving different here, as it looks like Donnie Gatton is going to come down pit road as well. And we'll see if Bryson Barker is going to come down. But right now, he's not showing any indications he is full speed up on the top of the track.
Right, looking at the times here, I want to talk about someone real quick. He's got to be the biggest mover in this race so far. The 96 of Craig Covington. He started 23rd, and he's up to 4th right now, and he's running high line, looking like he's good to go.
We'll see indeed. He did 23rd to 4th. He definitely is probably the biggest gainer here tonight, and he was over in the Sunday series, in the Xfinity series as well. He was right there, and pit strategy got him in the end of that race. Had it not ended the way it did, I think he would have had a top 5 finish in the Sunday Xfinity series. So that is unfortunate for him. But, you know, stuff like that does happen here in racing, as it looks like now Bryson Barker is going to come down pit road, giving the lead to the 48 of Jack Fellers here in that DeWalt Chevrolet.
Right, and there's a lot of racing to be left. You see a bunch of guys. It looks like there's only 6 guys left on the lead lap, and there's still a lot of racing left. Those guys haven't pitted yet, so they're going to have to come in and they'll make those laps up and back up.
They will indeed. And again, these are guys here, Jack Fellers, Craig Covington, Jared Hagedorn, Dennis Ellis. Those guys have not pitted, as there comes Craig Covington down at pit road. Again, we expected some of these guys to make it on the 25 lap strategy, and that's what they're doing right now. And it looks like Jack Fellers may be out of fuel. He is slowing down really slow on the backstretch, and I think he's not going to make it. I think he is out of fuel on the backstretch,
which is a really, really sad thing, because that can damper your race real quick if you run out of fuel on lap 25 of 100.
You can indeed.
And that you say there's a lot of racing left, but there's only so much time before you can make up those laps that you're losing right here trying to get back to pit road.
Yeah, and keep in mind, we haven't had a caution yet. He's definitely going to need a caution to get that lap back, as these guys typically will go a lap down here on pit road, and it'll cycle itself back out. But being this slow on pit road, as he's currently doing 43 miles an hour, pit road speed's not so bad, but getting there, he was extremely slow, so that's going to cost him a lot of time. As it looks like now, if we take a look here, the 2 of Jared Hagedorn has completed his stop, so Dennis Ellis coming down. Everybody has cycled through the first round of pit stops here, and we have gone caution-free during it, so that is good. No cautions coming out, and Jamir Muhammad once again will maintain the lead here in the race, but now a 1.717 second lead.
Right, and the good thing is these guys have been racing with each other for a long time. You can tell just by the fact that they're running close to each other, and there hasn't been a caution yet, so they know what each other's going to do for in each situation, which can be a great thing. But at the same time, you're kind of looking for a caution to happen for pit strategy.
Yeah, and everyone, for the most part, on the lead lap. First one a lap down, you're going to have to go all the way back to 19th place, is Jared Hagedorn right now. Again, he is the first one a lap down, followed by John Van Ellis, Dennis Ellis, and Jack Fellers, who again ran out of fuel, it looked like, on the back stretch. So that's an unfortunate one for him. He will gain 1 spot, but he is way back here in 21st right now. He is looks like he's going to pass the 99 of Justin Starr, but Justin Starr is in 9th place right now. They're not even on the same lap, so I don't think those two are going to battle too hard. Just let him by, and if he's faster, let him try to go get his lap back and earn it.
Most definitely. And if you're in a situation that you're looking to get your lap back, on lap 29 with no cautions, I'd definitely be trying to hard charge to the front if I can.
Yeah, I definitely would myself. And the thing is, it's going to be really hard here to earn your lap back. Not because he's not fast and he doesn't have the truck to do it, but because your leader is so fast. Jamir Muhammad is just a rocket ship out there. But I do want to note here, 2nd place right there, the 88 of Austin Edstrom. It was 1.717 seconds separating them. Now it's 1.466, now 1.499. So that gap is actually getting smaller, but now it looks like it's getting a little bit bigger. I'm not sure if a lap car was in there, or if Jameer was maybe saving a little bit on his tires and then realized that Austin was coming and that he had a fast truck as well, and he's picked it back up, but now it's shrinking again.
Right, and I just looked at the track temperature, and it has gone up another degree to 81 degrees. We're 31 laps into this race, and we've already seen it fluctuate from 78 to 81. So if it goes green, that can definitely play a huge part in as the track climbs temperatures.
It will indeed play a factor into it. And again, the hotter this track gets, the more the chances are someone spinning out come and will happen. So these guys have got to be very careful, especially with older tires here. It seems like we just were on pit road, and here we are 12 laps into this run already for some of these guys. So here in probably the next 7 laps or so, these guys are going to be coming back down pit road again to make a stop, and we'll be roughly at the halfway point then. So again, pit stops coming very quickly after the first one.
Right, and being that it's lap 32, you still got a lot of time, but if you're thinking your next pit stop is going to be the halfway point, you're going to have to start cracking down, especially since the pack is so spread out. Like, you want to get to the guy ahead of you so you can try and work with them and get ahead of other people.
Yeah, and again, we'll see if the teammates start working together here. Austin Edstrom and Alex Huffman here. Again, it'll just be curious, as it looks like Craig Covington is having some connection issues there, as he is blinking in and out a little bit. That's definitely not what you want to see. Good thing is no one's really around him, so he's not really in any harm's way of anybody else. So he can stay out there and just keep doing what he's doing, and hopefully it sorts itself out. Sometimes it does, sometimes it don't. We'll just have to keep watch on that. But going through this field here, it looks like for the most part, most people have kind of really spread out after that first round of pit stops. But Jack Fellers in the 48, he's in 20th, but he's up here running with Bryson Barker, who is in 7th place. So he is very quickly working his way through this field. And again, I don't know if he's going to be able to catch up to get that lap back on his own. He's going to probably need a caution. But he is right now close to being up there to do it. But he's not going to be the lucky dog. The actual lucky dog would be the 21 of Dan Butler.
Right, and that's if we get a caution. I mean, looking at everybody right now, there's only a couple cars that are within each other to have something happen. I mean, other than somebody loses grip with the tire fall off and spin out. But it's looking really good, like we're going to go caution-free for a long time here.
It is indeed, as well. Pull that up real fast. 0 cautions for 0 laps here. 65 laps to go, so we still have the majority of this race to go. But we've had 5 different lead changes. Keeping in mind, though, all those lead changes have been done under pit stops is when they were done. And they were done by Jameer Muhammad, Bryson Barker, Jack Fellers, Alex Huffman, and Dennis Ellis were your leaders here, as it looks like somebody is slowing down on the backstretch here. I'm not sure that...
Yep, it's the 87 of John Van Voorellis. He looks like he's going down to the pit road. I'm not sure what happened there. He looks like he's got a little bit of damage. Something might have happened. He might have caught the wall. So
he is indeed, and that is also lap 17 for him. So he may be within a lap or 2 of his pit window anyway here, and with that damage decided to go ahead and bring it in a little bit early, lap or 2 early, as he is going to come down pit road, and I'm sure he'll get that damage fixed, but he is going to park it on the pit road, and we'll see. There's your leader right there, going to go ahead and put him another lap down of Jameer Muhammad. So John Van Voorellis going a lap down, but that is your leader. The 14 of Jameer Muhammad right now started first. He's in first, and he has a 2.2, now 2.5 second gap over Austin Edstrom, and it is growing each lap.
Right, and I'm looking back here in the back. We've got a couple of people trying to get their laps back. with working around the lead lap cars.
Oh, don't mean to cut you off. Jamir Muhammad goes down pit road and spins it out. So does the 8, spins it out as well, trying to avoid him. That is Mikey Neal. 2 cars going around on pit road trying to get on. And didn't mean to cut you off there, but 2 of our fastest drivers here going around and hitting the inside wall on pit road.
Right, and it looked like the 83 almost got into it, but he was lucky enough to avoid it. And that's a huge thing, because, I mean, if you're trying to slow down just to get to that pit speed, and you shove it into a gear lower real quick, it'll just kick the car out from under you, and away you go.
Indeed, and I don't believe, after looking again, I don't believe Jamir Muhammad got into the wall. However, Mikey Neal took significant damage. I don't think it's going to hinder him too much, as we'll get a better look at it here, so we'll take a look. That is quite a bit of damage, as he went nose first into the wall to try to avoid the 14. So that is definitely going to hurt him here as he is getting back out onto the track. He is now 1 lap down. And again, we have to keep an eye on all these guys too. They have to get by that blue line and blue cone that's on the track, and he does do so. But that is definitely going to hurt him here in the long run.
Right, and having it be a green flag stop, he can't stop and wait for them to try and bang it out and get a little bit more straight. He's got to get it up back on the track to keep as many positions as he can.
He does indeed. Bryson Barker back to the lead. You know, that could be very detrimental here to Jamir Muhammad's run, as he is still on the lead lap. And he doesn't have any damage. However, that was a costly time on pit road. Again, it took him about 50 seconds on pit road. So, you know, in grand scheme, it was about 9 seconds worth of time there extra on pit road compared to some of these other guys. It's not going to hurt him too bad, I don't think. He really got lucky on that one. But it's definitely going to hurt him some. Once the green flag pit stops complete here for this round, we'll know more about where he's going to sit. As we'll see here, there are people ahead of him. Austin Edstrom, Alex Huffman, 2 drivers that have already pitted, and they are ahead of him right now. So definitely did hurt him in that aspect. The long-term effects we'll have to wait and see, as Bryson Barker still out on the track here with 20 laps, and he could go you know, to the 25 lap mark again and maintain this lead here and just lead some more laps.
Right, and the 8 of Mikey, he just took his lap back after that incident on pit road. He just passed the 84 of Bryson Barker, so that's going to give him his lap back to try and work back up to where he was.
Yeah, Mikey Neal getting his lap back the old-fashioned way, just driving by the leader. So good news is, I don't think that damage is going to slow him down too much, as he was able to get by Bryson Barker. Bad news is, I don't know what it'll do in the long run of things to see. We'll just have to keep an eye on him and see if that damage does manage to slow him down a little bit. Right now he's running 31.6s on 4-lap tires. So we'll see. He's a little bit faster than our leader, who he just passed, of course, was running 32.8. So there's no reason why he didn't get by him. It was just way new tires, and there was no reason. Like, if he didn't get by him, we would know that truck was really damaged.
Right, and that could be also a case of new tires versus old tires. Just being able to control it through the corner at a higher speed.
Yeah, it very well could be indeed just a simple thing like that. Again, this is something we'll have to keep an eye on again throughout this entire race. I don't expect to see too terribly much from that damage. It was a very light tap to the wall, so I don't expect it to do too much. But it's going to hurt him. But we'll get up here to Austin Edstrom, who is sitting in 4th place right now. And it looks like he is going to be the one to retake the lead once these guys pit. You're on lap 47 of 100. So we are closing in on the halfway point here very soon. Bryson Barker still has not pitted on lap 24. And we'll see. He's going to be coming in soon. Hopefully he doesn't run out of fuel as well, but he is there. Craig Covington in second, and now Austin Edstrom will take third place, as it looks like there it is. Dan Butler is going to be coming down pit road here, so he will take his second pit stop of the night. Again, it looks like most of these guys are going to take the 4, maybe even 5 stops here tonight. So very interesting to see that they're going to make it a 5-stop race.
Right, and they were all planning that to have between 3 and 4 pit stops, but when you get out on the track and you notice that it's starting to get a little shaky after 20 laps, that changes things for you. You're going to have to pit, because if you can't hold on to that truck, it doesn't matter either way how many pit stops you take if you don't finish a race.
This is very true. Doesn't matter. You'd rather finish than not finish at all. And there comes the 84 of Bryson Barker, and it looks like he is on the 4-stop strategy as he comes down on lap 25. Craig Covington coming down with him as well. So again, if you're pitting around 25, you should make it on 4 stops here. These other guys that are pitting around 17, 18, they aren't going to be able to make it on 4 stops. They're going to have to do 5. So we'll see. The thing is, once you do that first pit stop on lap 17 or 18, even up to 20, you're kind of committed to the run here. You know, once you pit on lap 20 the first time, you're 5 laps short from what everyone else is doing, and you're locked into that strategy, and there's not a whole lot you can do to get out of it unless a caution happens. And unfortunately, we have not seen one for these guys to do so, as there goes the 88 as he is flying by the 101 of David Gainforth.
Right, and if I'm Bryson Barker right now, I just pitted lap 50. I'm on schedule to do 4 stops. I'm thinking I'm going to want to pit a little bit early so I can get those fresh tires before everybody else does, so I got a little bit more room to work with to give myself a win.
Yeah, and again, strategy is a huge key here in iRacing, and these guys are crunching numbers. They're figuring out everything in their head. And if you're a one-man team out there, it makes it a lot harder. Some of these guys have some teammates out there, so definitely they kind of have, I guess you could say, a little bit of advantage working together. But, you know, regardless, each individual out there is having to crunch these numbers for fuel, for tires. What can I do? Are we going to get a caution? This is all stuff you have to process in 30 seconds as you're going around a lap, each lap. So, you know, it can get pretty stressful out there. Not to mention, you're sitting there sawing at this wheel for 100 laps straight, as we are now just over the halfway point here, currently on lap 53 of 100. And we have teammates out front, Austin Edstrom and Alex Huffman, 1-2 right now. Jamir Muhammad, though, that little incident on pit road where he does have a little damage to the front left has not slowed him down at all. He is currently running 31.9s, now 32.0, and he's sitting in third place once again. And the question is, can he get up there to those leaders?
Right, and he's only 4.1 seconds behind Austin Edstrom as the leader. And you have Alex Huffman in between them, and like you said earlier, Alex Huffman and Austin Edstrom are teammates, so they're definitely going to be working together to try and hold Jamir off the lead.
Yeah, and again, this is not one of those tracks where drafting really will do a whole lot for anybody, but, you know, you will get a little bit of draft, no matter where you're at. Drafting is merely one car punching the hole through the air for the car truck behind it to benefit. So regardless of where we're at, if they can stay in a line here, they're going to get a little bit of draft, and that will help them just a touch. I don't think it's going to benefit too much speed for them, but it will get them maybe a mile or 2 per hour faster. We'll see. But that also could be bad if it affects how they come into the corner if they get in too hot. So they're going to have to be careful with that. And Jamir Muhammad right now just has to worry about trying to run them down. But right now he has a 3.854 second gap separating him from first place. And we'll see if that shrinks. Is now 3.85.
Right, and there he's definitely making time, as well as Alex Huffman is. Alex Huffman's gap is now at 3.368. So they're definitely making time on him. They may work together to try and get up there a little bit, just with having nobody around, you're just looking for anybody to get to the front at this point.
Yeah, you definitely are looking for anyone that you can work with, possibly use. In this case, you know, maybe using like they're doing right now, using the lap car of David Gainforth here, who I believe is a lap car. He is not. Yeah, he has 1 lap down. So Alex Huffman trying to use the lap car to his advantage. Unfortunately, it didn't work, as you see right there. Jameer Muhammad was able to get by just as quick too. So not having any of that. Someone that's having a good run that we talked about earlier, though, I want to mention real fast, back in 7th place. That is the 99 of Justin Starr. He started 8th. He's up to 7th, so he's only gained 1 spot since the start of the race. But he has been a little higher than that earlier. This is just since the start of the race. He has been up and down, though. And he's got a top 10 time right now, or position right now, and he's doing a very good job for himself here in this race. Right behind, in front of him is Brian Dorsey, and someone who want to take a look who is in 4th place right now on the lead lap after that incident on pit road. That is Mikey Neal in the 8. So what a recovery for Mikey Neal.
Right, and he's looking to come around the 30 here. Who looks to be a, yep, he's a Mike Rigney, who's a lap down. So they're not the lap cars aren't holding the leaders, which is always a good thing, because that could be a huge issue as Mikey slams on the brakes and comes into pit road here.
He is indeed. He's coming down. And it looks like Austin Edstrom and Justin Starr going to come down as well. Alex Huffman coming down. So different group here. Some of these guys I don't remember seeing down. Mikey Neal, I thought, stayed out a little bit later last time. Could be wrong on that, but a few drivers coming down, and that's going to give the lead back to Jameer Muhammad once again. And he has led the most laps. He has led now 33 laps as he crosses the line there, as we now have 40 laps to go left in the race. And this race is winding down very quickly.
Very quickly, and like I said earlier, if you're running green flag, this race can go real quick. This track is 1.5 miles long, but when you're driving it, it definitely doesn't feel like it's 1.5 miles long. That 30 seconds is so quick.
Yes, it is very quick indeed. As again, you get around it so fast, and we'll just we're gonna have to keep an eye to see who finishes where. But I really think it's either gonna be Jameer Muhammad, Austin Edstrom, or possibly Alex Huffman up there in the front. Bryson Barker, though, he could be up there. And someone we don't talk about, or we haven't talked about today anyway, that is the 47 of Trevor Graffam. We have not talked about him too much right now in that 47 Nava Auto Parts Chevrolet. But he is up to 4th place right now from 10th. He hasn't pitted yet. But again, the pit strategy, I think, is the big key here tonight, not tires. So somebody that does the right pit strategy is going to be the one that comes out on top. And right now, he's sitting at 4th in the top 5, as it looks like some people are going to get by him. The 11 is going to squeeze by him. That is Dennis Ellis, 2 laps down. And there goes the 88 by him as well. So now Trevor Graffam is now 1 lap down. There's actually only currently, I believe it is, 3 cars on the lead lap.
Right, and if I'm Trevor Gaffam right now, 3 laps ago, you were the first car a lap down, so you were really hoping for a caution. I mean, we've been saying it all night, but people have been really waiting for a caution, and this is the time it's going to start getting dicey, to where people are trying to make track position to get to the front, to possibly give themselves a chance at a win, because there's only 37 laps left. So I'd start to look for track position, especially if you're a lap down right now.
Yeah, they are. And Bryson Barker back out front. He is one of them that has not pitted here, as Mike Rigney is going to go down pit road. So very few drivers that haven't pitted. Craig Covington was one of the first ones to start pit stops earlier, as he has completed 2 pit stops, so he still has 1 more to go. He has 15. Dan Butler, 16 laps on his. But Bryson Barker out front, and again, he has led 12 laps, 6 to make it 13 right there as he crosses the line again to start lap 65. He's on 15 right now, so I would imagine he would either come in based off his strategy. I think he'll be coming in the next few laps. But right now, he's out there, and we have just about everyone getting back onto the lead lap. You have to go all the way back to 11th of Brian Dorsey, who just got put down a lap. He is the first one a lap down right now.
Right. And if you look here, Jack Fellers, who ran out of gas earlier, is back on the lead lap, and he's running in the top 10, so he definitely worked his way back up from running out of gas in the backstretch and having to limp the truck onto pit road.
Yeah, and if I had to pick a, something to describe this race here tonight, it would be ups and downs. We have seen some pretty good downs here as well. Jack Fellers running out of gas on the backstretch. Jamir Muhammad spinning it on pit road. Mikey Neal getting involved in that incident on pit road, where he had to get into, avoidance mode, hit the wall trying to do so. Jack Fellers 9th on the lead lap. Jamir Muhammad 4th on the lead lap. And Mikey Neal, who got the worst end of their deal, is in 5th on the lead lap. So ups and downs. These drivers have had downs and they've had ups here all in the same race. So, a very good job for these guys to maintain a very good spirit and keep going.
Right, and a lot of that has to do with going caution-free. You can, if you stretch out your pit windows a little bit more, you have a chance to get back on the lead lap and start fighting for battle or positions again.
Yeah, and that's exactly what they're doing, and a fantastic job at that. Just props to all these drivers here for sticking it out. They do such a good job week in and week out. So it's good to see him do it. And Austin Edstrom out front right now. He has led 11 laps, so he hasn't led the most laps here, but he has led quite a few laps. So we'll see if he can pull it out. Bryson Barker is behind him now. He still has not pitted. He's on lap 19 on this run for him, and he hasn't pitted yet. So we'll see. He may kind of stick this out here until these guys... So about maybe 20, 25, we'll see. I just don't know when he's going to pit, as he's maybe trying to change up his strategy just a little bit.
Right, and if I'm Bryson Barker, I'm scheduled for a pit stop in the next 5 laps. I'm running second. I would see how long I can stretch this one out a little bit longer so that I can get a little bit more of an edge and wait to see if they're going to pit a second time in my window.
Yeah, and I would be doing the same thing as well. He's on lap 20. Austin Edstrom on lap 10 on his tires. So all these guys are going to start pitting soon. If he hangs out till lap 25, give it 5 more laps, now 4 more laps, that would put Austin Edstrom on about lap 16. So that theoretically, they would be coming in pretty shortly as well. So that could put them roughly in the same zone as pitting then, so that could change things up just a little bit. Again, we'll have to keep an eye on that. But right now, you look at your top 5 here, as we will actually pull your top 5 up real fast. After 70 laps completed, it's going to be 71 at the line. Austin Edstrom is your leader here. Bryson Barker in 2nd, Alex Huffman 3rd, Jamir Muhammad 4th, and Mikey Neal in 5th. Those you see right there, those 5 drivers, that is a powerhouse up here at the front of this race. And they are, between the 5 of them, dominating this race right now, as they have led quite a few laps between the 5 here. Again, just a very awesome job for all these guys out here to lead this many laps between the 5 of them.
Right, and earlier on you said Jamir had found something that the other guys hadn't found, and I think that went away with the update today, because if you're looking, he's not running as fast as he was at the beginning of the race, and that might be due to the damage. It might be due to lap cars being around, but it also could be that what he found may not be giving him an edge, as much of an edge as he thought it was going to.
Yeah, and again, so many different strategies play into a race like this, and you just never know what is going to happen, what's going to net you the best race. As they're 3 wide right now, that is Jamir Muhammad Alex Huffman and Bryson Barker, and that is a battle for second position right there between those three drivers before getting them there as well, but he is a lap down. That is Jeremy Evans. He is currently a few laps down.
43 or the 14 of Jamir Muhammad got into the 83 a little bit there, and almost the 83 got really loose and almost went around coming off of the backstretch there.
Yeah,
that could have been really dicey.
I saw that. We were just looked up and saw the 83 really loose, as he does look to have a little bit of damage here. We'll see if we can't get a closer look. It looks like he does have a little bit of damage to that back little spoiler, but not too terribly much. So we'll see if he can hang on to it here tonight, as that damage may cost him a little bit of time. You know, the person that's just grinning from ear to ear, even though that is his teammate, that's probably Austin Edstrom right now, as he is the race leader, and these two making contact, getting together, that's just padding his lead right now, which is right now currently 7.633 seconds.
Right, and if I'm Austin Edstrom, I'd be just on a Sunday cruise, hitting my marks, just doing all the fundamentals right. I wouldn't be pushing anything too hard because you've got a 7-second lead. You really don't want to be pushing any chances to where something happens and then you lose that lead, and all of a sudden you're battling for second place all of a sudden again.
Yeah, again, that's definitely, you're right. You don't want to do that. Just, you know, that it's key. Hit your marks. Do what you got to do. You know, don't do anything crazy out there to possibly end up wrecking yourself. As they're on lap 17 right now of this stint here for Austin Edstrom, so he's going to be coming down pit road here probably here in the next shortly. He may try to run this out to lap 25. We'll see. Jamir Muhammad 14 on his stint, 18 for Alex Huffman. So everyone is really on different laps here as far as their tire wear. So it's very interesting to see. Bryson Barker, now he has 1 lap on his stint as he has made a third stop there. So we'll take a look here. You see these people that have made stops, and there goes Brian Dorsey, as he's going to be the one to start this round of pit stops here. That is his third pit stop of the night, so he has only made 2 other pit stops before this one. So we'll see who is going to be the next one to come down the pit road.
Right, and I think the 2 of Jared Hagedorn was down pit road for the first of this round, and he was on pit road for quite a while. It says here he was on pit road for a minute, so he might have been getting some damage done, or he might have gotten popped with a penalty for speeding. You can only imagine what happened there.
Yeah, and it looks like Mike Rigney coming down pit road, and there it is, Mikey Neal coming down pit road, as well as Alex Huffman. So 2 more drivers coming down. James Zarello going to be coming down pit road as well. So more and more drivers are starting to come down at pit road. Austin Edstrom, however, is not one of them. Neither is Jamir Muhammad. But I stand corrected. There is the 88 of Austin Edstrom coming down pit road. And that will give the lead to Jamir Muhammad, as right there will be 20 laps to go. So whoever pits now, 20 to go, they will be able to make it to the end of this race on fuel.
Right, and this is crunch time. This is your money stop. You got to think, do I need 4 tires completely? Can I risk it with 2? How much fuel am I going to need to make it to the end? So that's all factors that you're going to have to think about as you're driving down pit road.
Yeah, all of the stuff these guys have to process very quickly here. As you see, Austin Edstrom is still on pit road. He is going to peel out. And again, you can't speed on pit road. You've got to be very consistent. And 2, you have to worry about where you can enter on the track now to not get that stop and go penalty. And we'll see right here shortly. You should see the blue cone coming up. There it is, the blue cone. He's clear of it. He's onto the track. So no penalties for Austin Edstrom this time by. And he goes out of first into third. So after all of that, he is 1 lap down. Looking here, the only car on the lead lap right now is Jamir Muhammad. If a caution was to come out right now, he would be sitting really good. He has the entire field a lap down right now due to pit strategy.
Right, and Jeremy Evans hasn't pitted either yet. Jameer just passed him. He's sitting in second place right now, so if I'm Jeremy Evans, I would try and wait. Seeing Jameer right there, I would wait one lap longer than Jameer so I can get my lap back and possibly have a chance at a higher position than Jameer.
Indeed, I would too. The question is, when will Jameer Muhammad come down? We know he can't make it on fuel, so he's got to come back down here with 17 to go. The question is, when will he do it here? Again, these guys, everyone's a lap down, so they will have to pass him and then pass him again to get on the lead lap. And you see right there, that is obviously Jameer Muhammad. We're watching Austin Edstrom. There he is, just now crossing the line. So there's a significant gap there between the first and third of. It says one lap, but again, on the track itself, it is not that much. So if Jameer pits, and when he pits, it wouldn't take but maybe a half a lap for Austin to pass him to get back on the lead lap. But then again, he has to pass him again to get the lead. So Jameer's sitting pretty good right now.
For sure, and they're still spread out a little bit. I mean, with everybody's kind of getting crunched up with the pit strategies all matching, but there's still a lot of people spread out from each other. As Jeremy Evans went down pit road on lap 84 here.
He is indeed going to come down pit road. So the question is, when will your race leader come down pit road here? He very well could be holding off for that caution at this point. And again, we talk about it all the time, is Jameer Muhammad's going to blink, and he is back. That was a little scary even for us up here in the booth. Thought he might have blinked out of the race. But as we were saying, again, he may be locked into his strategy that he was on. And at this point, we talked about it, once you commit to it, there's not a lot you can do except for hold out and wait for a caution and hope that it'll work in your favor. But unfortunately, at this point, 14 laps to go, caution-free in this race, I don't think that's going to happen as he's coming down here on the backstretch. So he is getting ready, and he is going to come down pit road for his final pit stop and give the lead over to Austin Edstrom, if he can get it from him. Remember, Austin Edstrom just now took to being on the lead lap, so we'll stay here with Jameer Muhammad on pit road and see if he can beat Austin Edstrom out.
Right, and this is where you need to think about your money stop being the last thing you have to do. If you can survive on 2 tires, take them, but I would try to do as much as you can to get out as fast as possible. And it looks like he's taking 4 tires here.
He is indeed going to take 4 tires and come out of pit road. He's right there. He can get up to full speed now. Austin Edstrom does get by him on the track. Mikey Neal has not done so yet. Neither has Alex Huffman. So not only now does he get back out there, as there goes Mikey Neal and Alex Huffman going to get by him. And he does clear the blue cone, so he's good to go. Comes out in 4th after going in first. So he didn't lose a whole lot of spots, but now he has very fresh tires, 0 laps on them coming out of pit road compared to 8 for the rest of this field, and we still have 12 laps to go. So can Jameer Muhammad run down those front 3? I have a feeling he may be able to catch Alex Huffman and maybe Mikey Neal. I'm just not sure if he has the time here in the race to catch up to Austin Edstrom.
Definitely. He definitely could catch up to Alex Huffman for sure. Everybody else, that's just a time game here.
Yeah, and we can see the difference there as we're looking. There is Mikey Neal, Alex Huffman, and Jameer Muhammad right there on your screen for a second. You can see him again. Austin Edstrom, though, 9 seconds over, 9.4 seconds over second place. He has so far checked out after he got the lead. So I think this is his race to lose right now. He's definitely hanging in there with 10 to go as he crosses the line right there. But like you said, and Alex Huffman and Mikey Neal, they're still in the danger zone because Jameer Muhammad is quick, and he has definitely got time to catch up to them.
Right, and he looks like he's creeping up on him a little bit too, to where he could be looking at a second place finish if everything lines up in his favor.
He very well could be indeed. So we'll see how, or if he can, and how he's going to do it here, as those two very well could get side by side and kind of stall him out if they wanted to. But again, you're not going to do that probably, just because then you could potentially lose the spot too. But they could just battle each other, and that's going to hinder his progress here to try to get up there. But right now, he is right there. He has closed that gap in a hurry, and he is closing it ever so quickly. Right now, .299 separating him from Alex Huffman. And it's just probably a matter of 2 laps, maybe 3 tops, before he's by Alex Huffman. Is less than that. There he goes to the inside. Mikey Neal's going to take it to the inside as well, so it looks like he'll get by him this lap.
Right, and this could be, in the next couple laps, a very, very good battle for second, third, and fourth. Being so close, I mean, clearly Jameer has fresher tires, but if they're all over each other, they could be getting into each other, and it could be a pretty good battle.
It could be indeed, as it looks like this time Jameer Muhammad's going to take to the high side, and I have a feeling we're about to see him dive it to the inside. He does indeed, so now he's going to set his sights on Mikey Neal, and he's going to get by him pretty easy. Not much of a battle there. Now he's going to have to pass the 99, who is a lap car here tonight, so no battle there. He's going to get by him. Austin Edstrom, though, still has a 9.3 second lead over Jameer Muhammad, who has worked his way back to second place. I really don't think here with 7 to go, now 6 to go, anybody will catch Austin Edstrom, unless something happens. He spins it out or whatever. I think it's his race. And I really don't even think we're going to have a battle for the top 3 now, as Jameer Muhammad has pretty much put on the nitrous here and checked out from Mikey Neal and Alex Huffman.
Right, and he would definitely need to put the old roller skates on with the bottle rockets to catch up Austin Edstrom here.
Yeah, he's got to. They'd have to do something. So would Jameer, and I just don't think, as we have another car coming down pit road here. That is going to be Dan Butler coming down pit road to make his 4th pit stop here. So he's already 1 lap down, and he's going to fall to 12th place, and it looks like he may fall a few more, 13th place, as he is going to go in and make his last pit stop of the night here. So, you know, it's unfortunate, but it does happen here. He's going to lose a few more spots there. But still, quite a few drivers a lap down. You don't even have the 10 guys on the lead lap. You go back to 7th place of Brian Dorsey. He is the first car lap down, so again, the 7th place a lap down, so only 6 cars on the lead lap right now.
Right, and that's just pit strategy. If you don't have the best pit strategy, you're going to be looking at finishing a lap down. I mean, at a track like this, with going caution free, that's not the worst thing. You can always work on it for the next time you're here and come out with a better idea of how to be out front the entire race.
You can indeed, and Jameer Muhammad racing on the 101 of David Gainforth, almost having a little contact there. I'm not sure. I don't think the spotter was letting the 101 know the 14 was there, or vice versa. So those two almost collided with each other, but they do avoid it. Spotters told them at the last minute there was a car down low or a car up high, and they did avoid it. With 3 laps to go, Austin Edstrom, his lead has been cut a second. He was 9.4, now it's 8.4. It is cut a second off that lead, but running 32.5s for Austin Edstrom, 32.1s for Jameer Muhammad. That's not enough. 2 laps to go. Unless Austin Edstrom wrecks, there is probably no chance that Jameer Muhammad can catch him. That 0.4 of a second is not enough to be able to catch someone who's right there. He will cross the line. It is 1 to go, presented by Northwest Racing Series.
Right, and Austin Edstrom's got 1 lap. I mean, a lot of things could happen, but it's not looking like they're going to. He's obviously been very good here to have this kind of lead and maintain it, and he's not going to let anything happen.
And this will be his sweep here. he will sweep the week here for Xfinity, and this one is right there. He will cross the line, and he will be your official race winner here tonight as the results are coming in as everyone crosses the line. But Austin Edstrom bringing home the win once again here. He will sweep the week here for RACECORE. He won the Xfinity race and now the truck race. And he did say earlier with that new update with the dirt flying, he's going to do some donuts in the grass. We'll be watching for that here as we are going to go through your unofficial race results in just a moment. We are going to step away and let our winner do some donuts, and we'll be right back here with your post-race show. All right, we are back here as they are lining up for their photo. We'll see if the 88 is going to do some burnouts. But that being said here, we are going to get to your unofficial race results, of course, barring any race control issues. And Randy, you want to go through those top 10, and then I will finish them off here tonight.
Absolutely. Tonight we had the winner being the 88 of Austin Edstrom, second place with the 14 of Jameer Muhammad, third being the 8 of Mikey Neal, fourth being the 83 of Alex Huffman, fifth with the 13 of James Lareau, sixth Bryson Barker, seventh Brian Dorsey, eighth Craig Covington, ninth Jeremy Evans, 10th Dennis Ellis. That'll round out the top 10 for the night.
In 11th place, it will be Donnie Gatton. 12th place, Jack Fellers. 13th, Brett Meservy. 14th, Mike Rigney. And 15th goes to Trevor Graffam. 16th place will go to David Gainforth. 17th, Dan Butler. 18th will go to Jared Hagedorn. 19th, Justin Starr. 20th will go to Jim Locking. 21st will go to Roger Muth. 22nd will go to John Van Varelis. And I'm not sure he didn't start the race. I'm not sure if he didn't get the boot. That was the 151. That was Brandon Kaufman. So I'm not sure what happened there. But he did not race the race here. Went out to qualify, just didn't do the race. So that will do it here for your unofficial race results. Again, Austin Edstrom coming away with the win as we're watching him do a little bit of burnout here. So we will step away. We're going to get our top 3 drivers here with us in the booth, and we'll be right back with the rest of your post-race show. All right, we are back here, ladies and gentlemen, with the rest of your post-race show. Again, starting with third place. That is the 8 of Mikey Neal. We know you got some fans out in chat, so congrats on third place. But I believe Randy has caught up with you here in the booth.
I have caught up with Mikey here, and Mikey, can you go ahead and tell us what you saw all night and what the plan was for the night and how you ended up with that third place finish even after the pit incident?
Well, I mean, it was actually a lot better than I thought it was going to be. I thought it was definitely going to be tight all night, but it actually felt decent. I ran fourth, I think, one of the first couple of laps, probably around lap 15. I got a little bit loose, and I tapped the wall, flew back to 8th, worked my way back up, and then I guess second pit up. Saw Jameer ahead of me, and I mean, it was really, really slick getting into pit road. I almost spun again, I think, on my sixth one, or my fourth one, and so I didn't really know what to expect going in the next couple of times, and I kind of went in cautiously, but I didn't really get much damage, and Jameer did a good job of not in front of everybody, so I got to thank him. I think I actually spun into him a little bit. I hit the brake. It just, I mean, I was just trying to avoid him, and I got into him, but after that, I just kind of held my line up top the race and just stayed in it and hoped that the damage wouldn't affect me, and luckily it didn't that much, so... and then I think I got past Alex with a couple laps left going into the last pit stop. So, and after that, I think Jameer got past us, and I got in third. So, I mean, I'm not that mad, but you know, definitely better than I hoped for tonight. So, third place isn't that bad.
Right, and after being caution-free and everybody being a couple laps down at one point, it's definitely a feat to pull off, especially with the pit incident. Any sponsors or shout-outs you'd like to make tonight?
Yeah, first off, I got to thank KAM, Jack, Alex, Roger, and Austin. These guys helped me so much, and I mean, I just can't express how much they helped me. And I mean, it's awesome to race with these guys. I don't want to race with anybody else. They're just awesome, and they helped me a lot this race. Not one of my good tracks, so definitely taught me a lot of stuff tonight. Got to thank you guys. We are in. Charles, Randy, you both do a great job commentating. Everyone I know at home loves watching you guys, and you know, it's always fun getting you guys come and do broadcasts. Got to thank iRacing Drivers World, Global Building Contractors, and the main sponsors, Truck Series, Leo, Coney Island. Wouldn't be here without him. And I also got to thank Justin, Dan, and their league owners. They do a great job. They run it really well and smooth. So can't thank them enough. And yeah, and we got to thank all the viewers out there watching. We all have fun out here.
All right, Mikey. Well, congrats on your third place finish tonight. And I'm going to hand it back off to Charles, who's gotten with the second place with Jameer.
I have indeed the 14 of Jameer Muhammad. Again, same deal. You had spun it out on pit road there and was wondering if you were going to be able to recover from it. And it looks like you didn't get any damage. I thought you hit the wall for a minute, but you didn't. You did recover from it in a very strong way to work your way up to a second. Had we tacked another 20 laps on here, maybe 10, I think you might have caught up to Austin Edstrom, and we would have made one heck of a battle there for the lead. But again, it just didn't work out that way here. So, you know, overall, caution-free here in that little incident on pit road. How was the race for you here tonight?
It was tough for sure. Congrats to Austin. He did a really good job, flawless as always. Yeah, the mistake coming onto pit road sort of cost me the win there. Once I lost that track position, now control of the race.
Well, definitely a track position was key here. Comparing Monday night with the Xfinity at Michigan to tonight as far as tire wear, it didn't seem to be near as much fall off as far as handling, and definitely not the fall off we saw with the speed. So tires not being the thing, definitely, as you said, track position to us seemed to be the biggest thing. Obviously, losing it on pit road didn't help. So on your side of things, was track position really the main thing you had to focus on here tonight?
Yeah, you got it. Tires weren't really falling off that much, and you're able to keep pretty much within a half a second with your fastest lap during the run. And obviously, we're only doing 20 lap runs here, so much of a drop off on speed compared to what we had in Michigan. But it was a lot of fun. I feel bad because I got into a couple of guys in the race. Got into David Worth. It looks like it was more of a net code issue there. And hit Alex Huffman, which about it. Luckily, he saved it. But it's treacherous out here, and it's really hard to pass. Even if you're a lap car, it's kind of hard to get out here. So it's I just really feel bad that I got those.
Well, you know, it does happen sometimes. You know, racing things happen on the racetrack just out of your control sometimes. So, you know, I'm sure they'll understand. But that being said here, you know, another great finish for you. Top 3, top 5 finish as well. We know you got some shout-outs and sponsors, so who would those be for that solid second place finish here tonight?
Yeah, I'd like to thank Leo's Coney's Island and iRacing Drivers World for all they do for us. Shout out to all the admins and my dad, who's probably watching this right now.
All right. Well, again, congrats on that second place finish here tonight, and finishing one spot ahead of him, sweeping the week here for that matter. That is the 88 of Austin Edstrom. So, you know, you talk about Jameer found something and you were still hunting for it. You swept the week here, winning both the Xfinity and the truck. Do you think you found it yet, or is this just still some of that luck?
I mean, I don't think I quite found it. I definitely got closer, because the gap between me and Jameer before he spun out on pit road was, well, it was like stabilized at like a 1.8 seconds or 1.6, somewhere around there. So he wasn't really pulling me as much, but still a little bit to find. I don't know. He's just really good at the 1.5 miles and bigger tracks. So I'm looking forward. Sunday is Iowa in the Xfinity series, and that's one of my best tracks. So maybe all I need is to get on a short track, but I don't know. I've won 4 races in a row that I've been in, but I don't think I deserved any of them. So I don't know. It feels a little hollow, but we'll see how Iowa goes.
Well, it definitely, you know, I still say, you know, it seems a little hollow to you, but you still earned it. You were out there putting on a heck of a run, you know. And speaking of the victory, we do want to ask you here. We were talking about it before we went live here down in your race channel. Getting the win, getting to play in the grass and the dirt out there, you know, how does it feel here with that new update where you can see all that grass flying around when you're doing your victory donuts?
Yeah, I got a little into it there. It's kind of funny. I was just watching the grass flow over my hood. But I don't know. It's a cool update, so I wanted to give it a good test and see how many tire marks I could make in the grass. And I think next time I'm going to try to paint a picture.
Well, there you go. We could have a Picasso going on here, painting a picture in the grass. Again, it's a cool little addition. It's small, but we like those little small things here on iRacing. So, you know, again, just an outstanding run here for you to sweep the week here. You won the Xfinity and the trucks, and of course, we know you have sponsors from over on the Sunday series in Xfinity. So, sponsor shout out, who would those be here for tonight's victory?
Oh yeah, like always, iRacing Drivers World, Leo's Coney Island, the series sponsor, and then on the Xfinity side, Global Building Contractors. They're also supposed to be on my car. I left them off of them Sunday, so I'll throw them a shout out here. It's always good having a couple sponsors to help us pay for the league and everything. So thanks to those guys.
All right. Well, again, congrats on the win and sweeping the weekend here tonight. Very good job. And we are just about done here, folks. We just have one more piece of business to take care of before we sign off for the night. And that is to thank all the sponsors ourselves. So, of course, starting with the broadcast side of things, we do have Walls Beard Co. Make sure if you have a beard, you need to take care of it. You head over to wallsbeardco.com for their beard balm, all natural and organic products and different scents out there so you can look good and smell good all day long. SimSpeedShop.com. You can head on over to their website and get you a custom-made button box as well as an e-brake. If you're a rallycross racer, both items will definitely help you in your iRacing career. Again, that is SimSpeedShop.com. Northwest Racing Series. If you are looking to get into some Xfinity racing or some truck racing, they race on Monday nights and Thursday nights. Trucks on Thursday, Xfinity on Monday. You can look them up on iRacing for the full schedule and all of that good stuff at Northwest Racing Series. Again, they are also the official One to Go sponsor, so when the white flag waves, it is presented by Northwest Racing Series. If Xfinity and truck racing is not your thing, but IndyCar racing is, you can head on over to Ohio IndyCar League. They, again, are no longer just taking Ohio club members here on iRacing, so make sure you hit them up at facebook.com/Ohio IndyCar League. And, of course, the last one here for the broadcast side of things, that is iRacing Broadcast Overlay Graphics, or iBOG for short. It is Jason Allison. Most of the graphics and all the animations you see here are from iBOG.co. Jason Allison taking care of us on that, so make sure you head over there if you're looking to get into broadcasting or just need some graphics for your stream here. He can hook you up over there at iBOG.co. Of course, on the racing side of things, the three sponsors that make all this possible, Global Building Contractors, they are a general sponsor here for tonight and just the presenting sponsor on the Sunday Night Xfinity Series, so make sure you give them a big shout out. iRacing Drivers World, again, a huge group on iRacing. Make sure you go over there and check it out. You can post all your iRacing photos, videos, whatever you need to post over there, comments, questions. People can take care of them, get those questions answered for you. Make sure you head over to iRacing Drivers World, over 7,000 members and growing daily. And, of course, the presenting sponsor for tonight's race, that is Leo's Coney Island out of Rochester Hills. Make sure you go check them out. Give them a big shout-out if you live in that area of Rochester Hills. Again, don't just go in there to thank them. Get you some good food while you're there. Again, that's Leo's Coney Island, having some great food in Rochester Hills. That being said, we are done here for tonight. This is the only broadcast for tonight. So as always, we want to give a big shout out to all the fans out there that hung in there with us for this race. So a big shout out to you for all in there. If you are new here, please don't hesitate to hit that subscribe button and that little bell so you'll be notified of all the races we have going on here throughout the week. And definitely hit that thumbs up. Let us know, let the other fans know, the drivers and all the sponsors know you enjoyed tonight's race, as it was a good one here. Caution free once again here for RACECORE. What a race it was indeed. That being said, we are done. We'll see you at the next race tomorrow night for the Upper Edge Racing League as we head to, we'll take a look, I'm not sure what track it is, but we are going to be going racing there for Upper Edge. So make sure you stay tuned to the YouTube page and Facebook for all the details on that, and we will see you there.